Good morning, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you might be doing. We wish to welcome you to the Silverlight Show. The silverlight shines to illuminate that which lies hidden in darkness. For those of you tuning in today, we welcome you in. Scanning the local news, which is usually of no interest to anybody but myself, I came across this little gem of an article, which I'll leave a link to in the description down below so you can leave it yourself. There is a woman, a mother. She was in a parking lot at a local grocery store doing whatever her business is there. There's a lot of stuff to do. I think there's even a doctor's office. But she came out into the parking lot and was approached by two teenagers who asked for her to pay for their pizza. Now, this delivery person was in the parking lot. Of course, the delivery person said, "I can't accept cash, I can only accept your debit card." And the woman, who was quite likely thinking she was doing a good deed for a couple of kids and being a mother herself, that can really tug at your heartstrings. So she gave the delivery driver, I should say this all in quotes, delivery driver, her debit card. He scanned it, hand over their pizza. The kids gave her $20 so that way it looked like everything was a situation as normal. And she went home probably feeling very good about herself for having helped some kids. Unfortunately, this was a scam. Yeah, they scanned her debit card and they withdrew $4,300 from her account. There's not a lot of families that can put up with a $4,300 loss. And there's so many points of failure on this that it's worth discussing. First of all, I happen to know this particular mall fairly well. There's a pizza place in the mall. Now, where the picture is taken, it's on the opposite side. Maybe they didn't know that because it's not a big joint. It's just there, does its stuff. There's another major tenant, a drugstore at the opposite side. You would drive past this place and not even think about it. So while you're tempted to say, "Oh, this woman is stupid for not knowing this," hey, not everybody's paying attention for pizza. And she was trying to do a good deed. My questions, well, let's do a couple other observations. This is a very well coordinated scam. They picked out their victim. It's a mother. Hey, couple kids looking for a pizza. Obviously, she didn't know if they had 20. If a delivery person came up to me and said, "I'm not accepting cash, here's your pizza." Well, I'm paying cash, or I'll go to that pizza place over there and eat it. Because they'll be happy to sell me slices of pizza, whatever the heck I want. Like I said, good intentions. She should have picked up on the fact that a delivery driver wouldn't accept cash. I've dealt with many delivery people during my time, and most of them are happy to take cash. They come up, they show you the pizza, they take your money, they go away. Standard pretty much everywhere in the Western, educated, industrialized, rich, democratic world. But this woman, unfortunately, was exposed to a scam. First thing you got to do is you got to look out for yourself. If something feels wrong, don't do it. And who orders delivery to a pizza place or to a parking lot? That should really put alarm bells up. But again, I'm defaulting to the heart of a good person, trying to help some people that ran into difficulty because I try to believe the best in people. Yes, Silverlight, the person who runs this show, tries to believe the best in people. Now here's where I start having questions. How do these people get a hold of a debit card reader? I know that there's ways that you can spoof it, read the chip, have a program. Maybe it's a personal customized job because I mean, way back in the day when Radio Shack was in business, they had enough electronic devices in there that you could build pretty much anything. It was kind of a bit of a joke among my friends about, hey, I can build this machine that, flashes LEDs and tuned to a song or whatever the heck you were trying to do. Different time, much more primitive tech. So now with Amazon and all these places, just imagine what you can get devices to do. I suspect, because this was more of a social engineering scam, social engineering is when you kind of guilt the person into helping you, which is exactly what happened here. It's not like, your shady computer hacker you see in the movies who's there in the dark with their glasses lit by the screen and they're typing away on the keyboard. No, it's not like that at all. You're more of a James Bond style agent where he talks his way into places. Oh, I'm John Smith, president of Smith Enterprises, and I have an appointment with whoever. Oh, go right on in. There's lots of movies of him just doing that. And it's a common tactic, but usually used by, intelligence agencies, salesmen, stuff like that. It's not a common one for street criminals. And that's what I'm going to call them, street criminals. Because they haven't caught them yet, so we don't know if they live in a house or whether they're just some con artists that go place to place getting as much money as possible and rent an Airbnb each night and move on. There has to be something done at the bank level because, no, as much as I think the best of human beings, we're all idiots sometimes. We all have a bad day and we're just trying to get through it. And like I said, we don't know how tired this lady was. She's just given birth to her second child. And yeah, I can tell you, lose a couple nights of sleep and you're not the rational person that you were a little bit ago. Again, this is not an insult to her intelligence. It's just how devious these kids and the delivery driver, in quotes, the perpetrators, I think would be the best way to refer to them. It's the audacity of them. It would be one thing if he stole a little bit of money, but like I said, $4,300 is going to hurt a lot of families in 2024. There needs to be action taken by the bank because they haven't done anything. They've let the money, they're, quote, investigating, end quote. I just had something investigated with the bank. They took 56 days to get back to me and then said, oh, from now it's going to take 56 days for us to investigate it. It was a simple matter I was looking into. But can you imagine that, being out $4,000 for almost, 6 months? It'd be very stressful. Now, this family is getting help from the media, and hopefully that gets the message out to not trust perpetrators like what she ran into. And there's a million scams. I wonder, it boggles my mind to think of all this productive energy that's going into scamming people. What else could they do with it? They got that card reading device from somewhere. There's an actual industrial supply behind whoever is running these scams. And that's the scary part. Someone is either stealing these machines or they're home building them, and they're making their cut of money off of it too. Because they had to have, charging whatever the amount was, tip yes or no, and a place for them to put their PIN in. So these are not just simple scanning machines, they're actually pretty sophisticated. I know programming wise that's maybe a couple hundred lines of code, but you still got to make it look like it's a professional machine. I don't know whether it would give you receipt or anything like that, but obviously that information was not covered. The ultimate point to this is you gotta look out for yourself. Like I said, keep the attitude, people are nice, but trust, but verify. I know myself, I would be very hesitant Well, first of all, if the kids came up to me and said the delivery driver isn't accepting money, I'd point them to the pizza joint. Say, they will. Oh, but what do you tell the pizza driver? Tell him he's an idiot. That's me personally. And if the pizza driver tried to come and bully me, hey, I got nothing to do with your problem, man. But most people are not geared for conflict. They try to make it go away. And unfortunately, like I said, they picked their target well. A mother who's, I'm guessing she hasn't gotten a lot of sleep recently, given the fact that she's had a second child. Assuming her first child is not young, that could be a double edged sword. And it's scary how they're able to pick their victims. This one's got a soft heart. I'm sure they asked a couple people, and they finally got the one, and it was worth $4,000 for them for a strike. So you figure there's at least three of them in on the deal. The the mechanic, who I will call the person who assembled the device, the so-called delivery driver, and the two kids who are mentioned in the article. We live in precarious times, not only with wars overseas and stuff like that, but you have to be willing to protect yourself. If you're scared, you want to avoid conflict, lie. Nothing wrong with a little lie. Oh, I'm out of cash right now. I can't help you. My wallet's at home. Well, you just came out of a store. Yeah, I had some stuff on reservation there. There's all sorts of ways that you can avoid that conflict. And if they get aggressive, turn around, walk right back into that store and talk to security saying, I'm being harassed in the parking lot and I want an escort. They'll do it for you. Believe me, there are people who will protect you, especially if you're feeling harassed, insulted, or you're not sure what's happening. It's not really their job, but it's a point of human decency. Now, with that, we're going to bring this episode to a close. I've put the link down below, so please read the article. Don't take my opinion for anything other than a point of interest. Always do research yourself. Since we're at the end of the show, we'd like to say thank you for listening. If you would, please click the like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Don't forget to click the bell icon down below so it'll notify you every time there's a new show. And we hope you have a fantastic day.